Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Examined Life. And today, what we're going to be talking about is, do narcissists lie? Now, you're hearing a lot of stuff on the internet about what liars they are and such. And the funny thing about it is, narcissists, they do lie, but they'll actually tell you that they're liars. Yeah. See, this is where it gets tricky or even convoluted. I made a video about something called cognitive dissonance. So if you look amongst it might come up at the ending of this video, but cognitive dissonance is when you're presented with something, you have information about something, you've drawn your conclusion that something is a particular way. But then when some other information comes into the picture that detracts from that says, no, it's not that way, but you're so bent on it being a particular way that you're going to dismiss the new information. That's what cognitive dissonance is, meaning it doesn't meet up with what you're thinking. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that so-and-so would do that because I've known so-and-so for so long, okay? That's part of the cognitive dissonance that we as the, the survivors of narcissistic abuse say to ourselves that kept us so much in the relationships. Yeah, but the funny thing is that when I reflect on, in retrospect, of my relationships with narcissists, they actually tell you the truth up front about what they are. And I'm going to tell you several incidences of what I'm talking about. Okay. I'll give you an example for, let's say my father, who is a parent who's a narcissist. My mother is arguing with him in the car, and then she calls him a liar, and he goes, you know what? Yeah, I'm a liar. He says, yes, I lied. I'm a liar. So he admits it. He admits he's a liar, and then he continues to lie. So at that point, he's off the hook of being called a liar because he already told you that he was a liar. Okay, you get the idea here in a sense of she can't do anything about it. She's been married to the guy for over 50 years, so I mean, she knows he's a liar. He told her he was a liar, and he continues to lie. What else is there needs to be said? Do you believe what he says, or you don't believe what he says? Right? That's number one. That's one example. Another example is I was trying to be friends with this woman who was, she was being aloof for whatever reason, but I thought we had nice chemistry. And I came up to her and I said to her, could any chance we could be friends at some point? She didn't deny that. But she looked down on the floor, and then she looked at me, and she was really insecure about what she had to say. But she flat out said, I have control issues. Okay. I didn't know she was a narcissist until way, way later on. But she flat out admitted she had control issues, which is one thing that narcissists are all about, and which is controlling everybody in their life. But she didn't say, I'm a narcissist. She just said, I have control issues. Now, at the time, I thought, well, I can deal with that, I dealt with a whole heck of a lot worse than that. Okay, but she flat out said to me that she had control issues. I didn't know what that meant exactly because she was evasive and vague and all that stuff until way, way later. But it all clicked after that. Why? That she flat out told me the truth. She told me the truth. She's a narcissist. She didn't say she was a narcissist because they don't fess up like that. You have to kind of put the pieces together. But she flat out said, I have control issues. And I should have believed her and just said or accepted that as something that was bad. But no, being being stuck in cognitive dissonance at the time like everybody else, I just thought, everybody's got issues, and I can deal with that. But she didn't lie, okay? that was another one. Another narcissist I had was, she flat out said, she said, yeah, I'm an ex-con, I'm a con artist. She flat out said that to me back in the day, and I just thought, well, I can deal with that. I don't want to judge you, and well, that one's really special. That one's a special narcissist. She was over the top, but she flat out came out and said, she was a con artist who did time. And at that point, I did make a decision in saying that I would keep her as an acquaintance at best, but because I needed friends, so I had an empty bucket right there. I needed friends, and I was taught not to be judgmental, but at the same time, I also had standards. So the fact that she was an ex-con was it should have been a deal breaker right there. But as I said, at the time, I was talking myself into stuff, like we do, right? We talk ourselves into stuff because, well, I wanted to have some friends, and that was like the best thing that was on the plate at the time. So I disregarded it. But I kept it in mind, but I disregarded it. And I got to witness a lot of stuff that was very narcissistic, and I got out before it took a toll on me, but I was a witness to it, and I'll tell you that one in another video, because it's a doozy. What else? Here's another one. Here's a very good one. I know this current narcissist. She's a dance teacher, and I was taking some dance classes from her, and she is actually the mother of the one who told me she had control issues. So and this is a small town. This is a really small town, so people know other people. It's not big, it's common. But anyways, I run into her mother, and now I understand why she is a narcissist, because her mother's a narcissist. And the mother will flat out say, first of all, she talks about glowingly about her teachers who taught her dance. And she, she says Hannah was the teacher. Hannah passed away, but she said Hannah loved everybody. She's a very loving woman. She loved everybody. I'm not like that. I don't love everybody. Okay? In other words, so she flat out states that she doesn't have that type of maturity or evolution in her own self. She's well aware of what she is, to love other human beings, unconditionally, basically. But her teacher was. So I think it's kind of sad that somebody who is not, who doesn't even measure up to the spiritual level of her teacher, is being bestowed the gift of passing this torch on to the the next generation of her teachings. Okay? But, I have to give her points for saying that she's not like that, But she's a blowhard. She's a covert narcissist that's a blowhard. So it's kind of a mishmash of overt, covert. She's another one I'd love to talk about, because she thinks she's totally above everything. And she'll flat out admit it to the class. Like she says, well, after the manager of this place retires, I think I'm going to be leaving, because I know that the other managers that are going to come in won't allow me to get away with what I get away with. So she flat out admitted that she breaks the rules, and then she'll come out and literally say, I don't like rules. Yeah, of course not. You don't like rules because when they apply to you. But, the whole class just sort of, it kind of just flies over everybody's head. Now, nobody challenges her, and it just flies over her head, the people's head, What else does she do? she's like one of the worst ones in my life currently. I mean, she's like on the outskirts of things, and you're gonna run into narcissists in your life. It's not like you can't really eliminate every narcissist in your life, because they're out there. You have to deal with them, whether it's at work or whether it's at, in social gatherings or what. You're gonna have to deal with them. So recognizing them is really a good place to start. But labeling everybody as a narcissist isn't a good thing to do, because there's a spectrum that there's a spectrum of like lower level narcissists to upper, more malignant narcissists. It's because everybody in essence has their own narcissistic traits, and it's very normal to think of oneself, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's when you become so malignant to where you need to control everything and everybody in your circle. That's when it becomes a problem. And there's nothing wrong with looking out for your own interests in terms of survival and such. But, it's a good idea to be a player in terms of working with others. Okay, when I say player, that's what I mean. Working with others, being a team player. No, narcissists are not very good team players. They try to detract from. I had another narcissist that I know. She has this little lap dog. I'm going to talk about her in another video. But she runs a home care provider type of business, which you would think, oh, she's so empathetic, right? But no, exactly the opposite. It's all about the money for her. Money, money, money. Yep. And she likes the power of having employees or contracted people under her. She likes the power of having her own business and all that business. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But it's just that it's a sickness for her. She's a workaholic, because she likes the power. She gaslights people big time. I'm going to go into all of these in more detail, but the point of this video is, do narcissists lie? And the answer is yes and no. They do lie whenever they need to, in terms to get what they want, or even to make themselves look good. They'll definitely stretch the truth. Do they think they're lying? That's a interesting call. I think they do, but from their standpoint, they might be able to twist the truth to themselves to where they think, in other words, I'm just exaggerating. Okay, they'll exaggerate the truth to make it fit whatever they need to fit. And then they'll say, well, no, I'm not lying. But this is a little tidbit, okay, here. What's her name? Maya Angelou, I think her name is. Or Angela. Maya Angelou? Well, Oprah's friend. She says, when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. And that's really what it comes down to. All of the people that I described to you, they flat out told me who they were. But being on the receiving end of having an empty bucket and needing that, how did they fit? I made them fit into my life because I needed them as friends or whatever. So I overlooked what they told me. I kept a little, check mark against again in it, in my, in the back of my mind. They said, okay, this. They said that they were a con artist. They said they were controlling. They said they were a liar. Why shouldn't I believe them? Right? I believed them, but I just didn't take actions to prevent any I wanted them to be a part of my life more than the truth mattered. So the thing is, it puts you in a position of where you have to say, well, how can I complain? I mean, they flat out told me, and I didn't do anything about it then. So am I guilty of that? Oh yeah. Am I guilty of it now? Not really. I mean, I'm going to go into this part about why things have changed for me in terms of dealing with narcissists. And it was an interesting little turning point. And I will go into that in another video. But thanks for listening. Please subscribe. And I hope all of this was like food for thought for you. And in terms of not getting involved with narcissists, particularly when they tell you who they are or what they do. Anyways, again, please check out some of my other videos, which are going to be coming up on the screen here. And please subscribe, because I will have some more videos that are more specific. You're welcome to comment or ask questions, and I'll do my best to answer. Anyways, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.